Hey, thanks for joining us again today. Mainstream advice on entrepreneurship is usually wrong. I want to share some of the top bad advice you will see when you're just starting out. Number one, buy a domain first. You don't need this. A lot of businesses can start using Google Forms and a basic landing page you get from getresponse.com. You don't need to buy a domain first. As you're just starting out, what you want to do is to be able to direct people to a landing page where you share the possible services or the products that you're building out, right? And then you want to get feedback. So GetResponse would enable you build an audience, would give you a landing page, and if you need to run surveys, just hop on Google Forms and you can start getting feedback immediately, valuable feedback that you can build into your service as you're going along. No need for a domain when you're just starting. Wrong advice number two you might get: perfect everything before launching. Now, there's a really good thinking behind this. People tell you if you launch your business and everything is not perfect, people are going to visit once and never come back. There's an element of truth to that. However, if you wait till you perfect everything, you might end up never having a business. People get stuck in that perpetual cycle of trying to get everything perfect, trying to get it up and running, and ensuring there are no single bugs. What you want to do instead is to build out a part of it that customers can start interacting with immediately, and then along the way you build out the features, the necessary features that will make the service smoother for your customers. And that's a massive way to go about it. So there is no need for you to perfect everything before launching. Wrong advice number three, which you get, and this one is really big: save all your marketing for launch date. Now, this is wrong on many levels, but it's something that is prevalent in the industry. People build in isolation. They just go ahead and start building out things and building out features, building out apps and building websites, and in isolation, nobody knows, and then they launch to a grand total of zero customers. That's not the right way to go about it. What you want to do instead is to do the opposite: build in public. The moment you conceive an idea and you're convinced this is something you want to do, you want to go all out on your social media handles and start talking about it. Get conversations going on around it. This way, you get feedback, you're going to get people who are emotionally invested into what you're doing. And when you launch, they're going to become your ambassador. They will be the one that will be responsible for the first set of customers that you're going to have. If you do it right, you're going to build an audience. If you do it at pro level, you're going to get people to pre-order from you, meaning you get valuable cash. You can start investing to do several other things that are needed to get you up and running really quickly. And the last thing I want to talk about is this: hire an agency to build out your website or your app. Now, this is wrong also, and it's something that you should not do, especially when you're just starting out. You don't want to go all out and start shelling out cash to agencies to build out your website or your mobile applications. That's wrong. You don't want to do that. Like I mentioned originally, most services and most companies can start out with Google Forms and a simple landing page. And this further reiterates it. If you build a website, you can get a simple website thrown together using WordPress. 40% of the world's websites operate on WordPress, and there's a good reason for that. WordPress is a very sound platform. So you might consider that. If you're building a mobile app, there are services, drag and drop services that allows you build mobile apps immediately. So there is no need for you to immediately look for cash to hire an agency to build out an app or a website you're not even sure is going to have customers, right? So that's a wrong advice, and you want to do the opposite of it. Instead of doing that, go right back to the wrong advice number one and implement what we talked about there. Build out with a simple landing page and Google Forms, and you're up and running. Thank you for joining us today.